Hi everyone, and welcome back to another video. In today's video I will be doing some cleaning and some decorating. If you want to skip forward to the decorating part, go ahead and fast forward to the 5-minute 16-second minute mark and you will get right into the decorating. But I love showing a little bit of cleaning before because it's just really nice and refreshing to have a clean space to work in, and I feel like that does motivate some of you guys. So I am going to be doing the same deep burgundy color in my Christmas decor as I did in my fall. I loved it so much, and I am just really loving those jewel tones, so I'm going to add a little bit of that into my Christmas decor. When I decorate, I really like to remove as much as I possibly can from the room and just really take a look around and see what I want to do, because I never really have a plan until I am just in the room, kind of looking around, figuring out what I want to do. And it's really hard for me to do that when I have other things getting in the way of my vision. So what I did was I just removed everything that I knew that I was not going to use, and I removed most of the decor that I possibly could, like the throw pillows and things that were on my mantle and all that stuff. So here's what we're looking at right now. I have a pretty clean slate to work with, and I'm just going to clean my mantle off really well, get rid of all that dust. I like things to be really nice and clean before I put my decor up. I know that through the weeks and months that you have it up, it can get dusty, and you really want to make sure that that space is nice and clean before you start putting all of that decor out.
This feeling is the worst of things, just let me go or let me in. Want this to stop, I'm giving in, so don't you get under my skin.
Today I'm going to be using Mrs. Meyer's Clean Day in the Fall Leaves scent. This is a multi-purpose cleaner, and I love using this stuff because it smells really, really good. I haven't purchased any of their Christmas scents yet, but I still had this one left over from fall. I'm just going to use this to clean my mantle, my TV console, and my end tables.
You wanna be, I wanna disappear when you don't connect to me.
If you are new to my channel and this is the first video that you are watching of mine, I want to quickly say thank you so very much. I appreciate you so much, and I am just really happy to have you here, and I hope that you do consider subscribing to my channel as well. I hope that you enjoyed today's video. If you are a returning subscriber, I want to thank you also. I appreciate each and every one of you so very much. So like I said in the beginning of this video, I'm going to be using some of that burgundy color here in my Christmas decor. It's something new to me because I have been decorating more on the neutral side the past few years. If you have not yet watched my Christmas video from last season, I will leave a card up here so you can click on that. I did use neutral tones here in my family room, and I absolutely loved it. But for some reason, when I did the jewel tones in my fall decor, it was just something that I really loved. I loved that contrast that I had in here with all of the whites and creams with those deeper jewel tones. What I've always loved most about decorating is that you can use the same things that you have over and over and kind of place them in different places in your house and just switch things up a little bit, and they don't feel like the same boring thing all the time. You really don't have to run out and purchase new decor every season and buy all kinds of new stuff. That is what I have always loved about decorating. I'm always finding new ways to use old items, and for me this has saved me a ton of money, and it's a lot of fun, and I really do enjoy it. Last season I had a pencil tree here in this corner, and I had this larger tree that I'm setting up now over off to the right side of my fireplace. This year I'm putting it up here in this corner, so I did have to move my console over just a little bit, The offsetting of my TV might bother me a little bit. I might have to put something, maybe like a small tree up on the left side of that console just to even things out. I don't know. There will be 2 parts of this decorating video, so we'll see. But I love this tree. I purchased this tree last season and I am so in love with it. I highly recommend buying this. It has a very lifelike look to it. The shedding is extremely minimal for a flocked tree. The quality is just so good. And this is not sponsored, but I love this tree. I shared it last season when I set it up, and there are a few of you that have messaged me earlier this season and said that you purchased it last year and you love it as well. And it does sell out super fast. I will leave a link down in my description box for it if you are interested. But I just want to quickly show you how minimal the shedding is. I set this tree up and fluffed it and all that stuff, and there was hardly any flocking left on the floor. I found this tin tree skirt last season and I love it. I did set this up in my other room last year, and this year I'm going to be using it here. I just thought it went really well with what I was doing in here. I think I used a woven basket tree skirt for this tree last year, and it went really well with my neutral decor. I feel like this white tin would look so much better with what I'm doing this year. I will also leave a link to this in my description box. I'm not going to decorate the tree just yet because I'm still thinking about what I'm going to use and the ornaments I'm going to pull out. So I decided to start decorating my mantle. I absolutely love these little Christmas village sets, and I usually set this up in my other room, but I had asked my son Shane what he thought I should do, and he thought that it would look really good on the mantle. So I went ahead and took his advice, and I am so happy that I did because I love looking at this. I feel like it is so festive, and it really reminds me of my childhood for some reason. And I just love it. I love that I set this up on my mantle instead of some other type of decor. I feel like it is more of a centerpiece in this room, and I just think it looks so incredibly gorgeous. There were a few bulbs that were burnt out, so I had to make a quick trip to Walmart, and I ended up buying a few things there. Not a lot, but I will go ahead and share with you what I did get. And I used night light bulbs. I'm not sure if those are the exact type of bulbs that you're supposed to use in here. I couldn't find any specifically for these little houses, so I used night light bulbs, and they worked out really well, and I am loving what it's looking like so far. I still have a lot to put out. I needed some of this Christmas drape, and I love using this stuff because it's so easy to hide all of those cords that you get from those villages, and it just makes everything look so much more festive. In the past, I have taken scissors and just kind of cut this up and fit it to where I'm placing it. This year, I just ripped it, and I feel like it looks so much prettier when you rip it because it has that look of snow, just like it has just fallen. And I'm going to share how I draped it off on the corners and show you how I did that. But I think this stuff is really cool. Last year I used a flaky snow. It comes in the bags and it's like in tiny little pieces, and as beautiful as it was extremely messy, and I will never use that stuff again. So this stuff is so much better, and I believe it was like $3 and change for the whole bag. Here's what it's looking like so far. I think it looks beautiful and it hides those cords so perfectly. I'm gonna come back and finish decorating this here in a little bit. I need to go find the rest of the pieces with all the little people and the trees and all that stuff. I'm not quite done over here. I will come back to it, but I wanted to show you guys what it looked like with all of that beautiful snow. I'm going to quickly share what I just got at Walmart because I had to run in and get some more of those little light bulbs for my village, and I came across a few other things that I ended up buying, and I wanted to share with you what I got. I'm going to share them all. So I found this eucalyptus, so pretty. I'm going to kind of intertwine it in with this garland that I got. It is the 6-foot garland, and it is so pretty. It looks so real. And there were two. I almost grabbed both of them, but I feel like I just need one. But it is like real. It has like a very life-like realistic feel to it. And I'm going to put this on my Hutch and then add a little bit of this eucalyptus. And I got 4 of these, and they were like $5 a piece. I also found some really pretty ribbon of the exact color that I want to use on my Christmas tree and my garland. So I'm going to use the smaller width on my tree, and then I got this cream colored one as well. But I'm going to use the smaller width on my tree, and then probably the larger one with the garland and the eucalyptus. And then I found this candle. I am not a fan of patchouli at all, but this candle smells so incredibly good. It is with patchouli, bergamot, green apple, jasmine, neroli, and cedar scent notes, and it smells so incredibly good. So I had to grab one. And then of course I needed some more ornament hooks, and then I thought these lamp posts were so cute, and I'm going to add them to my village. And then I grabbed 2 of these extension cords, and I'm using one now. I just added it over there. So I'm going to go ahead and start putting some of this ribbon on my tree. I think I'm going to do very minimal ornaments on this tree because I just think it looks so beautiful as it is. So I'm just going to add a few vintage looking ornaments. Okay, so these are the ornaments that I believe I had on this tree last year, and they are glass, and I think they're so, so pretty. And they have like a vintage look to them. So I'm going to add these, and then I have a couple other vintage style ornament I think I'm going to add to there as well. But let's go ahead and start adding some ribbon to this tree and a few ornaments. So when I cut my ribbon, I make sure that they're all the same length. So I go through and cut all of the pieces at once before I get started. And I did use 1 whole roll for my tree, which isn't very much. And like I said, I wanted to do minimal decorating on here. I felt like if I did too much ribbon, it would just look really weird. So I went ahead and cut all of my strips first, and then I started tying little bows where I wanted them to go. And this looks so pretty. I've never tied ribbon on my Christmas trees before, and it was very simple, and it just gives a very elegant, pretty look. And I can promise Santa's coming to visit. No, he wouldn't miss this in Christmas times. In my heart, but This decorating, just for what you saw me do, did take quite a while, and I started later in the afternoon. So the day was getting away with me. I had dinner to make and hockey practice to go to, and just a lot of things just kind of caught up with me. So I let this sit and I came back to it the next day. And sometimes that's better to do because then you don't get so overwhelmed. So this is the next morning, and I am ready to go and ready to finish decorating.
Sitting by the fire and dream. Tell me again with a whisper.
So I want to quickly share what I did finish last night, and I added some more ornaments to this tree. I didn't film it because I was running out of that beautiful light, but I do want to share what it looks like now. I found these ticking ornaments that I purchased a year or two ago at Hobby Lobby. I love those. They have a vintage look to them. And then I also strung some beautiful beads which have like a gold and silver color to them. I used these last year on this tree, and then I hung up those glass ornaments that I shared with you earlier in the video. And then over here on my mantle, I did add a little bit to this village. I found some bottle brush trees and added those to my mantle.
Children making angels in the snow. Oh, what a gift to be given. How lucky can this old heart be? And I fall into peace and silence on a very special Christmas Eve.
So I pulled out the rest of my pieces for this village, and I'm going to add those now, and I love this. I love adding all the little people and all the extra stuff to this village. I just absolutely love it. Let me know down in the comments if you have a Christmas village that you set up every year. And of course I had to add those hockey players because my boys play hockey.
Little things that I wanna hear, and the stars up above, they are shining with love. Listening to this song playing on, listening to this song playing on.
I am not quite done over here. I still want to add a little bit of garland to the front of this mantle, but I'm going to come back to it because I'm still thinking about how I want to place this. So right now I'm going to head on over into more of the kitchen area, and I'm going to start to decorate my hutch. I absolutely love decorating my hutch, and I'm going to be using that 6-foot garland that I found at Walmart, as well as that eucalyptus. So obviously I found the 6-foot garland over in the Christmas section, but for this eucalyptus I found over in their craft area. So if you are looking for the eucalyptus, it is an everyday item, and you're going to find it over in the craft area, as well as this ribbon that I will be using today. So for every season, I always decorate my hutch. For spring, summer, fall, Christmas, I always have it decorated, and most of the time I do have some type of floral or vine or garland or something up here on the top. So I do have command hooks that are permanently placed up here. I do believe that the one on the left may have broke and fell off, and I really didn't need to put another one up there because the center one and the one on the right held it really secure. So once I have my garland up, I am going to take little pieces of my eucalyptus and just kind of place them throughout the garland. And I'm kind of weaving them in and out of the pine pieces. So I'm going to kind of overlap it and make it look like it's kind of all one piece, and you'll see as I'm placing it, I'm not using any glue or wire or anything. They can easily just kind of stick in the garland and they hold really, really well. I feel like this garland didn't really have a tail end, if that makes sense. So I wanted it to look really pretty as it cascaded down the sides. So I just kind of stuck that eucalyptus right at the very end. And again, I didn't need any wire or glue or anything.
We should start a band and reach for the sky. It's 2 a.m. and I can't fall asleep.
So I want to show you exactly how I did this. I stopped right at the center because I'm going to start going in the opposite direction now. That way it looks really pretty, as if it's just naturally falling and cascading. And it looks really even this way, and you really can't tell, but it just all falls beautifully this way.
We were such a constellation, right? No, you'd agree. Made a reputation for ourselves at age 18. We had the devil on our shoulders telling us what we should do. I wonder if you think about me too. I can hear the raindrops falling. It's cold outside, and I kind of feel like cold.
And here's what it looks like all finished, and I am so in love with this. I think it looks so incredibly beautiful. It added so much more depth and texture to this beautiful garland already, and I just love this look. It's so festive and gorgeous, and I almost didn't add that ribbon because I just felt like this was enough, but I did want to add a pop of color over here. So now that this garland is all finished, I am going to add a few pieces of ribbon to each side.
I can hear the raindrops falling. It's cold outside, and I kind of feel like
I decided that I didn't want to tie my bows directly to my garland. I felt like it might get messy or pieces might fall off or whatever. So I decided to make my bows first and then attach them with some wire. So what I did was I took a pin and I tied my ribbon to the pin and made a pretty bow. And then for the piece that my pin was through, I'm going to take my floral wire and thread that through the hole where the pin was. And then that way I can attach the floral wire to my garland and have a perfectly pretty bow.
Snow is falling down. I've been longing for this Christmas, when everyone's around to share this holiday. Yes, it's a time of happiness, a time of joy, but now this year is twice as special, 'cause I'm hoping for us to fall in love in this winter wonderland. Chilling by the fire as I'm trying to get your attention, giving you a smile. I can seem to look away. I might be crazy, but I think you feel it too, like a vibration.
I really wanted to add more of that burgundy color over here, but I didn't want to add more bows. I just didn't want it to get crazy with the ribbon. And I thought, wow, it would look really pretty if I decorated this planter box with some of those florals that I had left over from fall. And it will also add a center of that burgundy color between the two ribbons as well.
Hours pass by, all the stars shine much brighter. Or is it just your eyes that have lit something in me? See you coming closer from across the room. My heart is pounding really fast. I don't know what to do. Could we find...
Once I had my florals in this planter box, I wanted to add something that said Christmas just a little bit more than what I had in here. So I took some pieces of some pine that I had in one of my bins and just kind of placed it in there to fill some of the holes. And I love this. It looks so, so pretty. Now I'm just going to finish decorating in here using some pine pieces throughout and maybe some bottle brush trees and some other little tiny pieces of Christmas decor. I really wanted to hang a pretty tassel here on the knobs in the front cabinet, but I didn't have any and I didn't want to go out and buy anything. So I decided to use these oversized ornaments that have a distressed look, and I found these at an antique store 3 years ago. I am so happy how this hutch turned out. It is simple yet beautiful and elegant. I feel like this would look just as beautiful if you were using neutral colors, if you had something similar to my planter box and used some beautiful white Christmas florals and then maybe a cream colored ribbon instead of a burgundy ribbon. But this turned out really pretty and I am so happy with how it looks. So now I'm going to head back into the family room, and I have given it a lot of thought, and I pulled out a few of my bins and I just went through what I had, and I decided what I was going to place up here on my mantle. I have had these garlands for years and years, and I decided to put them up here because they are flocked, and I'm going to be using some command hooks to hold them in place. So I just shared what those were, and I'm going to show you a closer look once I have those up. But I'm just placing the command hooks right up top, and I can hide them really well with that snow, so it makes them very easy to place and hide, and I just love using command hooks with all of my garlands. Here's a closer look at those command hooks and how exactly that I did put those here up on my mantle. So now I'm going to place my garland up here, and I'm going to work with it for a little bit because I wasn't quite sure how I wanted it to hang, but in the end I just have tiny little loops, and I think it looks really pretty. At first when I was placing this up here, I thought that it might be too much. I loved that it had a very clean look on the front, but I really wanted this to be a festive area over here, and once I was finished, this garland looked absolutely beautiful, and I went ahead with a flocked garland that I already had. Like I said earlier, I loved that it was flocked and that it matched the Christmas tree that was also flocked. I have had this garland as long as I could remember. I want to say before I even moved into this house, which was over 6 years ago. And I do remember that I did purchase this at Michael's. I'm not sure if they have this exact one still, but I know they have beautiful garlands there, and I just love it. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. And to finish this look over here, I am placing my white fireplace screen back up here, and I did find the screen at Hobby Lobby probably 4 years ago. I'm not sure if they still have it, but it was a black color and I ended up painting it white. But I did find that at Hobby Lobby. I do get asked about that screen a lot, so I just wanted to let you know that I did find that at Hobby Lobby. I felt like my table was missing something in the kitchen, and I will get to a Christmas decorate with me video for the kitchen specifically, but I really wanted to put an arrangement together. I had some white flowers that were blooming beautifully in my backyard, and I'm going to use this chamber pot that I found at an antique store a while ago, and normally I would use a floral tape for this, but I'm going to use some regular Scotch tape, and I just wanted to make sure that that top part was nice and dry before I placed the tape up here. But I'm making grids, and this just helps keep the flowers from kind of falling out because this is a shallow container that I am using. Now that I have my iceberg roses placed in this container, I want it to add a little more of a Christmas look to this, so I'm taking some of my floral picks of pine and just kind of filling them in the empty spaces. So the last part of this video, I'm just going to add a little more coziness to this family room, and I'm going to do that by adding some cozy throw pillows and some blankets to this sofa. I'm also going to add a beautiful candle centerpiece to my coffee table. One of the best ways to cozy up a room is to add a fluffy throw blanket. I get most of my throw blankets at a store called Minky Couture. You can purchase these online, or if you live near a store, you can pick them up directly. But they are the best and most coziest blankets ever. And then I went with more of a neutral look for my larger sized pillows. These are some pillow covers in a linen with a beautiful ruffle on the end for the larger ones, and then I had some nice and soft pillows from last season, and then I used my toile printed throw pillows that I also had for fall right here, and I love these. I love that it had that red in there. And then I had a Merry Christmas ticking pillow that I put right in the center, and I found the Merry Christmas pillow at Home Goods. I also found the fur pillows at Home Goods as well, and then the other two were purchased online. And then I just used some candlesticks that I found at Michael's and Hobby Lobby, and I used a trade mirror, and I found the trade mirror at Michael's. But I feel like everything looks so incredibly cozy and beautiful, and I am just so happy with this look. That is it for today's video. I hope that it has inspired you and given you lots of decorating ideas for the Christmas season. I hope that you truly enjoyed today's video, and if you did, please leave me a thumbs up. Say hi in the comments below. Let me know what your favorite part of today's video was. I would love to know, and I will see you all in part 2 of my Christmas decorating, and I hope you guys all have an amazing day. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button before you click out. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you guys all have an amazing day. I will see you in the next one. Bye!